Finally! Finally! JDev has went live on his own channel, JDev TV. I'm just testing out the StreamYard stuff to go live and interact with you in a different way than randomly make a video every day that only a few people watch. Well, more than a few people, but hopefully I get some people to join me in the comments section. It's the first time I've went live on my own channel, so I don't see that anybody's listening. So hopefully I find out if the stream is actually working or not. I guess somebody will let me know if there's audio. According to what I see, there should be audio. But yes, this is a long time coming. There was no particular reason why I didn't go live before on my own channel. I just didn't really feel like it. I don't really have a reason why. I've went live on various other channels, but I finally decided to go live on my own channel tonight. So tonight's the night, and once I get started, I might not stop for a long time. So I should be going live, I would think, on a weekly basis here going forward. Obviously, in the future, I will have a better topic to discuss than randomly just ask me anything or talk about anything. I know that's not really intriguing for some of you. Like, I don't have anything to ask. I listen to all your videos. You basically are an open book. But if there is anything that you want to know, whether you're watching this live now or on the playback, please give me the heads up. So I figured, since there's nobody, at least from what I see in the chat right now, that I'll get started with talking about some movies that I've seen this year and giving my general thoughts on those particular movies. So I'm going to open up my Letterboxd app and just kind of go over what I've seen and my overall score of the thing that I've seen. So give me just a moment here to get this opened up, and make sure you comment, smash the like button if you can. We have Chris in here. Dexter Origin is set for 2024. I heard Dexter New Blood. I heard nothing about that, yet no announcements. Yeah, for Dexter, Chris, I haven't heard anything about Dexter since like the initial announcement in January, where they said that Dexter New Blood was canceled and that there's going to be a Dexter Origins and a Trinity spinoff. And then a few weeks later, I think towards March or something like that in March, then they announced that Dexter New Blood Season 2 was a go. In my humble opinion, if Dexter's not alive in Dexter New Blood Season 2, I really don't have any inkling to watch it. I will watch it, but I really don't care about it. But I think there's a way that they could bring Dexter back easily. Just revive him, and then we can have Season 2 the way Season 1 should have ended. Of course, if there is a Season 2 and that's exactly what happens, my thought is that's it. After Season 2, we're done, because most likely Dexter will be dead at the end of Season 2. But hey, you never know. On my channel, I have a how I would end Dexter thing, but I go way back and like change some things from Dexter Season 2. And of course, a lot of things from Season 8. And you could watch that video on my Dexter playlist on my channel. But going back to what I was going to start to discuss, and keep the questions coming if you have any questions. The movies that I've seen in 2023, which I think one of them may have came out in late 2022, but that was just a minor release, and then the major release came out in 2023. So let's start things off with Megan, or Mithrigan, that came out in January, kind of like a Child's Play sort of thing. I think it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it's like this awesome movie. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, basically an AI robot, kind of like the Child's Play remake, which I didn't see yet, but I plan on seeing it very soon here. That's what I thought of Mithrigan, or Megan. Then we have Plane, a Gerald Butler movie. I really liked Plane. I saw the trailer to it, and instantly I was hooked. Just a movie that I really wanted to see, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I own it on 4K, and if you haven't heard about it yet, I would highly suggest that you check out Plane. Sorry about that. And then next we have Sick. This is a Peacock exclusive, and it's apparently written by Kevin Williamson. It's kind of like a slasher flick that takes place during the pandemic. I thought it had some good moments, but then there's other things in it that I just don't like. But for Sick, I enjoyed it enough where I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. It could be a 3, but I'm sticking with 2.5 because there's not much to it, but I did like some moments that are in Sick. Then we're on to February. I saw Night at the Cabin, or I'm sorry, Knock at the Cabin, the M. Night Shyamalan movie with Dave Bautista. I gave that one a 2 out of 5 as well. I think that score could be improved. It's very basic. The movie takes a direction in the end that I wasn't expecting to happen. So that's where my lower score comes from. I know there's a lot of people out there that really like Knock at the Cabin, and I didn't hate it. I just only gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Then we have Cocaine Bear. I wasn't expecting much from Cocaine Bear, but it's a movie that I thought would be good. And I know the premise was really stupid, but it is based off of a true story, but there's a lot of things that happened in Cocaine Bear that didn't happen in the true story. But I gave Cocaine Bear a 3 out of 5. Again, I wasn't expecting much. I just want to be entertained, and I was definitely entertained. Now we're in March, and we have Creed 3, a movie that a lot of people really, really liked. And I just didn't like it. Now, I still gave it a 3 out of 5. But I don't know if it was the Sylvester Stallone, him not being in the movie, or just like the pacing. I felt like the beginning, middle were really slow in Creed 3. It got better, but Michael B. Jordan is a director in this, and he does some things that make me annoyed, but I don't know. I'm like the only person that really doesn't like Creed 3 all that much. It's toward the bottom in my Rocky/Creed franchise ranking. And then on March 9th, I went to see Scream 6. And I know a lot of you out there have issues with that movie. I see the issues, but I just don't care. I absolutely love Scream 6. Now, my boss told me I was loving it before I saw it, and that wasn't the case. I actually had really low expectations for the movie, and I was actually thinking I was going to hate the movie just because of some of the things that went on with Nev Campbell not being in the movie, but it turned out to be one of my favorite movies thus far this year, and I don't know, it probably is going to be my favorite movie of 2023. John Wick Chapter 4, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. It's a movie that is good, but it kind of reminds me of the other movies, and it might be something that I watch at home and I enjoy it more. But as it stands right now, John Wick Chapter 4, 3.5 out of 5, which could go up. In April, I saw Renfield. I thought this was a lot of fun. Is it an Oscar-winning movie by any means? No, but I enjoyed it. So I'm going to give Renfield a 4 out of 5. On, what did I see this on? I believe it was Paramount. I watched 80 for Brady. Kind of knew what I was expecting there, but I gave 80 for Brady a 3 out of 5. Okay, we have another comment by Chris, and let me know if I'm sounding good and the picture is good. But he says that would be a disaster if they didn't bring back Dexter back in New Blood Season 2. Do you think they might have Deborah Morgan's character in Season 2? I mean, if Dexter's back and alive, spoiler alert, I guess, for all of you that haven't seen Dexter New Blood, if Dexter is alive, like we find out he's alive again, or he's revived, and he's back, then I would assume that Deb would come back, because there's no reason why she wouldn't come back. So I would think Jennifer Carpenter would come back, but I guess that remains to be seen. But I don't know if that's the route they're going to take. I think they're really going to do the whole Harrison route and just Harrison New Blood Season 2, which I'll still watch it because it's Dexter based. I'm sure Michael C. Hall's going to come back. He'll probably be Harrison's Dark Passenger, but I don't want him to just be the person that Harrison speaks to that's not there. I want to see Dexter alive again, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But it will be interesting. I'm pretty sure, though, Deb will come back if Dexter's still alive. But if he's not alive and he's Harrison's conscience and the person he talks to that's not there, I don't know if Deb would be back in that scenario. Also in April, well, I guess I should talk a little bit more about 80 for Brady. I mean, I kind of knew what I was expecting with the movie. Old ladies want to go to the Super Bowl to see their favorite player play Tom Brady, and there's just some things that happen on their way there. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I gave it, I don't remember if I said my score, but 3 out of 5. Then I saw Evil Dead Rise on April 20th, and this was a movie that actually surprised me. I wasn't sure what my thoughts were on this movie, like what I was going to think about it. It's not necessarily a sequel to the previous one. It's kind of its own thing, but it has elements of things that have happened in previous Evil Dead movies. I enjoyed it. I've actually seen it twice, and I gave it 3 out of 5. Yes, I know this, or no, I'm sorry, 3.5 out of 5. It's a movie that could go up. It depends how my next viewing of the movie will be, which I have to watch that again soon because there's going to be a live stream that I'm a part of that I have to rank like 28 different movies out of certain franchises, and Evil Dead is one that we're doing. So it'll be a live stream. I'll give you guys an update when I know more information about that. We don't have a date in mind for that, but it's going to be probably at some point next month toward the middle end of the month. We have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This was a movie that I had low expectations for because the MCU has been crap, in my opinion, since Endgame, with obviously Spider-Man No Way Home was good. But I don't think it's this amazing movie. I think it's good, but not great. But I actually enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy quite a bit. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, and that's a movie that I think my score could improve upon my second viewing. Like, I didn't want to overscore it and rank it too high, so I gave it a 3 out of 5. It's a lot of fun. And here's the movie that may have came out in late 2022 as like a random, really quick screening and then came out officially in 2023. But it's on Netflix now. It's called A Man Named Otto with Tom Hanks. I thought it was a really good movie. Basically, the premise is this guy that really doesn't have anybody in his life anymore because his wife died is suicidal. But he's not very good at it. Or somebody comes and like prevents him from doing what he wants to do. But it's a good movie. It pulls a few strings on me, and I liked it. So, A Man Called Otto, I gave it a 4 out of 5. And then on May 14th, I watched Hypnotic, Ben Affleck's newest movie. A lot of people shit on the movie. I actually liked it. Not loved it, but liked it enough. I think on my second viewing of it, it might make more sense to me. But as it stands right now, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. It's got a lot of shit that happens in it. It kind of reminds me of a movie called, was it Paycheck? No. It's another movie that Ben Affleck did with Uma Thurman back in the day. But I don't want to give any spoilers, so I'll just kind of say I liked it okay compared to everybody else. Then I watched Air, which is now on Netflix. I'll get to Flash in a second, Chris. Air was really good. I kind of already knew the premise. It's basically Nike trying to sign Michael Jordan when he's pretty much already going somewhere else. I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. And you kind of know what to expect with Air. Fast X. Okay, this is a movie that people really disagree with. I had very low expectations for Fast X because Fast, or F9, the Fast Saga, was so terrible. But I actually enjoyed Fast X quite a bit. I went to see it 2 times in the theater and am looking forward to buying it and seeing what's next in the Fast and the Furious franchise. And I'll tell you one thing, Jason Momoa in Fast X is freaking awesome. And then on Disney Plus, my roommate's Disney Plus, because I don't have my own Disney Plus, I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And so far, that's the worst movie I've seen in 2023. It just, I don't know, it didn't work with me. Usually the Ant-Man movies are comedies, well, heist comedies with some fun moments, and Quantumania was just weird. That's what I could say about it. So I didn't like Quantumania. And then I watched Missing at the end of the month. There's a movie called Searching with John Cho that's very similar to this movie. It really had me intrigued. Like, I was kind of glued to the TV watching it. Basically, this daughter, this teenage daughter, her mom's going out of town and she's communicating her, and then all of a sudden her mom stops communicating with her. And then there's just interesting things that happen, and we're trying to find out what happened to this daughter's mom. Then I saw Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I actually liked Rise of the Beasts. I wasn't expecting to like it, but I actually liked it more than Bumblebee because I think Bumblebee was more of like a kids movie to me. And yeah, I ranked it third in my Transformers ranking video. And a lot of people are mad that I put Revenge of the Fallen number 2. I know the movie has issues, but I really like Revenge of the Fallen. Maybe it's a Megan Fox thing. I don't know, because number 1 is Transformers from 2007. But Rise of the Beast, I actually enjoyed it. I was a little confused with the end. I won't get into spoilers. The ending is kind of wacky, though. And then the last movie that I've seen so far this year is The Flash. Let's see, what did Chris say here? Chris, he watched the Flash movie. It's okay. So I'm somebody that doesn't have any strings to Flash. I don't know hardly anything about Flash. I've seen all the DC movies. Well, not all of them, but I've seen Justice League. I've seen Batman versus Superman. And I've seen the Zack Snyder version of Justice League. And I did watch The Flash because I heard good things about the movie, specifically from Sean Chandler of Sean Chandler Talks About, Sean Chandler Plus, and Real Creators. And because my expectations, obviously, not really knowing a lot about the Flash character. My mouth is getting dry already. I actually liked it quite a bit. But I didn't think it was like this amazing movie, but I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. It's another movie that could go up. I think the middle of the movie with Barry's character and younger Barry, it's too many what I like to call dick and fart jokes, like shit that doesn't really make me laugh all that much, that they did in the movie that I didn't really like. But I like the beginning, the stuff with Batman and, well, I won't get into spoilers, but somebody else is in the beginning of the movie, and of course Batman's butler, played by Jeremy Irons, Alfred. And then of course you have the end of the movie. I thought was really good. The whole portal. I don't know how to explain this stuff in Flash, but some of the surprises that we got, I really liked. Those were the best parts of the movie. There's a certain actor that shows up as Superman that I know kind of the history about. I like that a lot. And then there's an end scene before the credits start with a certain somebody that's, it's meant for comedy, but I thought it was hilarious. So I thought The Flash was pretty good. I don't think it's this epic movie by any means, because I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but don't stay to the end of the movie. Anybody that's watching this stream on the playback, the end credit scene after the credits are over with is completely ridiculous and stupid. So that's my opinion on The Flash. And then Chris, we got another comment. Chris, I appreciate your, you joining the stream and, writing lots of comments, because I don't know if you might be the only one in here with me, but that's cool. It's all good. It's me testing out my live streaming, which I have never done before on my own. So what do we got here? I hope that Dexter Trinity Killer prequel series will get a physical media DVD or Blu-ray. Yes, I really hate when stuff just goes to streaming. I want to own everything. If you look over here, I'm going to show you that I like to own everything. So yeah, I like to own everything I can on physical media. There are a couple releases so far this year that haven't come out, or last year and the year before, that weren't released to physical media that really pissed me off. And I get really pissed when things go directly to streaming and that's it. Like the movie Barbarian, which is on HBO Max, Max. Movie that I thought was pretty good, but apparently isn't going to be released on physical media. The movie Fresh, which is on Hulu, which I actually have a copy of. It was somebody making a copy that looks really good, so I'll count it. But that doesn't have an official physical media release. And then there's a movie called The Tomorrow War, which is on Amazon Prime with Chris Pratt. The movie's fucking awesome, and I do have a copy of it. It's another scenario where somebody made a really good copy of it. But at least I physically have it. I like everything on physical media. And I would hope that Dexter, the Trinity Killer prequel series, will get a physical media release. Dexter New Blood did get released on physical media, and I own that. So I'm guessing since that was released on physical media, that the Trinity Killer prequel series will get released on physical media. But who knows? Now that they're with Paramount, who knows if things would change. Then we have something similar to that. I hope the Dexter Origins gets a physical media release for Blu-ray and DVD. Yeah, me too. I like to own everything, so I hope that's the case. Am I a Walking Dead fan? Absolutely. I love The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is my favorite TV show of all time, and I love it. And I know right now currently the Walking Dead Dead City is probably airing on AMC. I've already seen the episode. It's pretty awesome. The show looks beautiful. And if you're watching this and want to hear my thoughts on that episode of The Walking Dead, it's on my channel. Just search JDev TV, The Walking Dead Dead City. I did my review on early, was it Thursday morning, if you want to check that out. So yes, I absolutely love The Walking Dead. It's such a good show, and it's the show that, like, a lot of people give me shit, like, you like The Walking Dead. Really, the show sucks after a certain length of time. I admit, the quality of The Walking Dead at some points went up and down, but I started watching The Walking Dead in season 2, and I never missed an episode. I think I was late getting home once, like 15 minutes late on an episode, but I had a lot of time invested in The Walking Dead, and I absolutely love it. So hopefully you're enjoying The Walking Dead Dead City, the Negan and Maggie spinoff show. It's pretty good. The Croat might be one of the most interesting villains on The Walking Dead, but knowing him, he'll probably die in a few episodes, and we'll get a new villain next year. But yes, I like The Walking Dead quite a bit. Any other Walking Dead comments you want to leave, Chris? I appreciate it, man. I'll talk The Walking Dead all day. Get some liquid in my throat here so I can continue talking. Sometimes I have an issue with speaking, and that's why, because my throat gets extremely dry, where, like, I have no moisture in my mouth at all. I don't know why that's the case. It's something weird, genetics or something like that, but it makes it hard for me to talk. So, but yeah, The Walking Dead, awesome show. I love it, and I'm looking forward to obviously seeing more of The Walking Dead Dead City. Not super thrilled about the Daryl Dixon spinoff show where he's apparently going to be in Paris, but I'm going to watch it and do reviews of it on my channel. And then, of course, The Walking Dead Rick and Michonne show, which might be called Summit, coming out probably in February of next year. Obviously looking forward to that. I'm still watching Fear the Walking Dead. It's not that great, but it's got interesting things that have happened so far in season 8 of that. So yes, I am definitely a Walking Dead fan, and I'm like repeating myself and just rambling, and that's what I do. So yes, so let's talk about Dexter some more, since we're both on Dexter. What is your favorite season of Dexter to anybody watching this stream? Chris, if you're watching the stream, and you might have commented on my channel before about Dexter, I'll pull it up here and see if there's anything I can find. To me, the best season of Dexter would be Dexter Season 4. It's just a solid season from beginning to end, and the last 2 episodes of Dexter Season 4 are phenomenal. A lot of people talk about The Getaway for obvious reasons. That's the Season 4 finale. Something big happens in that episode for those of you that are watching that haven't seen Dexter, and it's a really memorable moment in the show that changes the show from that point on. A lot of people talk about that episode, and that's my favorite episode, but also the episode before that, Season 4, Episode 11, Hello, Dexter Morgan. I really like the episode. The end of the episode, which doesn't really spoil a lot of things, you have the Trinity Killer, Arthur Mitchell, follow Dexter Morgan to Miami Metro, and the end of the episode has him pull his lanyard. Hello, Dexter Morgan. Love that part in the season of Dexter Season 4. And then, of course, I still like Dexter Season 2. That should have been the end of Dexter. They should have done the stuff that they did in Season 2 for the Season 8 of Dexter. They didn't quite even come close to that quality of Dexter. So, Chris, let me know if you're watching The Walking Dead Dead City, or if you've already watched it, because it premiered early Thursday morning on the AMC Plus, which I have through Amazon.com. It's in addition to the price for Prime. You pay an additional $10 and you get access to the episodes of The Walking Dead Dead City, Fear the Walking Dead once that comes back on, and any other Walking Dead product early. And I like watching them early. It's easier for reviews. Although I don't like watching things on early Thursday morning, because I have to work on Friday. So it's not easy to watch it and do my review right away, because I think that's the best thing to do. Some people say quality versus quantity, like make a really good video and put it out when it's ready. With stuff like that, I want to get it out as soon as possible, because otherwise nobody's going to watch my video because they're watching everybody else's. Like one of the best Walking Dead YouTube channels, Movie Idol, he puts out a good video and he's usually the first one that posts and everybody watches his stuff. So why would you want to watch my stuff if you've already heard his stuff? So that's my thought with that. What else can we talk about? Let's talk about some TV shows. And for those of you that watch this on the playback, if you want to leave comments regarding the things that I'm talking about, you can go ahead and do that, and I'll address them in the comments section. But some TV shows that aren't necessarily well known that I think you should check out. The first show that I recommend to everybody, and I have to give Cody Leach of the YouTube channel, Cody Leach, props on this. It's on Max. The show's called Banshee. And Banshee is an incredible show. The premise of the show, you have this guy that's been in jail for or prison for 15 years, 16 years because of jewelry. He's a jewelry thief. He gets released. He's going to go find his ex, or the person he was dating before he went to jail. And he tracks her down to this small town in Banshee, Pennsylvania. And he goes to a local bar. And the soon-to-be sheriff is there. And the thing about this guy that's going to be the sheriff, nobody knows who he is. There's some corrupt people in this town in Banshee, or this place in Banshee, Pennsylvania, Proctor, and they wanted to hire somebody out of state to kind of not get corrupted by this Proctor fella. So he's there, and there's an altercation that happens, and this soon-to-be sheriff ends up getting murdered and killed. So our guy that was in jail assumes the identity of this sheriff, Lucas Hood. And since nobody really knew who Lucas Hood was, other than people that talked to him, and then this guy who was assumed his identity, he has a guy that can do a lot of things hacking-wise. So he becomes Lucas Hood. And that's the original premise of the show. Things change as the seasons go on. But I enjoyed it quite a bit. Cody Leach, again, props to Cody Leach for recommending me that show. Actually, he didn't personally recommend it to me. It was his movie collection video, his movie and TV show, DVDs and Blu-rays video. Well, actually, it was just Blu-rays that got me on that, and I personally sent him a message, hey, thanks, that's awesome. And then I became a Patreon of Cody Leach because he's got good shit. So that, and I'll address your other questions here, Chris. I see you've left a few more comments. Another show that I'd recommend that I've only watched the first season, it's called From. And the premise of the show is people go to this town and then they can't leave. Like, they try to go on the highway a different way and they end up at the same place. And then another caveat to that is at night in this town, there's monsters that come. Now, they look like regular humans at first that smile, and then they turn into like 6 sadistic monsters. It's got the guy from Lost, Michael Harold Perrineau, or I don't know how to say his last name necessarily, but he's like the main character. He becomes the sheriff in this town. It's a pretty awesome show. If you haven't checked it out, From, all of season 1 was pretty good. Of course, there's some slow parts. Now, I haven't watched season 2 yet, and apparently it's available on Epix, or the MGM app. Free. The first season's free on Amazon Prime, without any additional cost other than Prime membership. Season 2 is not getting very good ratings on the Internet Movie Database, so I've kind of held off. I'll eventually watch it pretty soon here because there's a free trial of it, and I can watch all the episodes once because it's airing right now. It might actually be over now, but if it's not almost over, or if it's not over yet, it's almost over. So I like it. It's pretty good. Again, the premise, people go to a small town and they can't get out of there. No matter what route they go, they end up back in this town, and then there's monsters that come at night. It's pretty crazy. Kind of reminds me of Lost to a degree, which the Harold character, the guy that plays the main character, he's kind of an ensemble cast with him, but he's one of the main characters. He was on Lost as well. He always said, "Where's my son? Let me see my son." If you remember that from Lost, if you ever watched Lost, which I love Lost. There's some haters, but I love Lost. So, all right, let's address Chris's comments here. The Rick and Michonne spinoff show, or spinoff. I hope Negan's character will return in that show. Yeah, I think there's only going to be 6 episodes. I've heard different things. Based on the things that they want to do, my hypothesis on that would be, my guess is the Rick and Michonne show will go at least 3 seasons. There's too much stuff that they'll have to cover in that show based on things that have happened in the Walking Dead universe. And I do believe at some point there'll be a big reunion of characters. Now, Negan, I don't know if Negan makes it out of Dead City. I'm going to say that now. I don't know any spoilers. I'm just wondering if they might kill Negan off in Dead City. Just a hunch. I don't know. But if that doesn't happen, there's going to be a big reunion. I don't know on what show, where all these characters that are still alive are going to meet up again. And that's going to be a big moment. It'll be years from now, but they kind of already started that angle on Fear the Walking Dead. They just had their mid-season finale on Fear the Walking Dead, and a certain character is doing some things that kind of involve a reunion. So that's that. And then, yes, Chris, I watched it. It was an interesting episode. I'm assuming he's talking about The Walking Dead, Dead City, episode 1. Very interesting. And I will say that the show looked beautiful. Compared to other shows in The Walking Dead universe, it looked beautiful. You can tell it has a big budget. And I thought in The Walking Dead season 11, the most compelling thing in that season was the Negan and Maggie kind of, what they would do to each other. And now they're just amplifying that in Dead City. So I really enjoyed The Walking Dead, Dead City. And we have another comment from Chris. Dexter, season 1 through 4 and 4 through 7 is my favorite season. Or is he saying season 1, season 4, and season 7? I'm not exactly sure what route you're going with that, but I agree season 1 is really good. I don't think it's as good as season 4 and season 2, just because they didn't know where the show was necessarily going. And then season 7, in my opinion, is one of the best seasons of Dexter. It's a very underrated season. People think after season 4, Dexter is shit. Dexter is not shit, except for season 6. I hate season 6. But Dexter season 7 is awesome, especially the last episode of the season. Surprise, motherfucker! Love that episode for various reasons. Just want to make sure I'm addressing all the comments here by Chris. Chris, I appreciate you being on this stream with me. I think we're the only 2 people in here, but hey, that's cool. I'm sure the more I stream, the more people I'll get. And the more issues I'll have with talking. Like my lips right now. My bottom lip is super dry, but the show must continue on. And again, I had mentioned I'll stream for at least an hour. That's my commitment. But if we get a lot more interactions, I'll keep going as long as I can. As long as my brain can allow me to. So yes, Dexter season 1, 4, and 7 are really good. If you're saying Dexter season 1 through season 4, I don't like season 3. Compared to other seasons of Dexter, I think season 3 is a big letdown because it's sandwiched in between my favorite seasons of Dexter, season 2 and season 4. So that's my opinion on that. But yes, season 7 is amazing. I mean, I think Jimmy Smith's character, Miguel Prado, is really good in season 3, but there's just something missing about season 3 of Dexter. It just doesn't have the same feel to it. So what else should I talk about? Let's talk about other shows that I really like. This is kind of a get-to-know-me stream, so one of my biggest things is movies and TV shows. Although I don't watch every show that's out there. People get the misconception that all I do is watch TV, and that's simply not the case. There's a lot of shows that are out there that I haven't even watched an episode of, so keep that in mind. Why is my camera tilted? Weird. That's not sure why that's the case, but oh well, it'll work. So I have a list of shows that I've watched. I have a list of every show that I've watched that I've at least finished one season of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mention the show. I'm not going to go into details about it because there's no need for me to talk for 20 minutes about a show, and just give my thoughts on what I've seen of the show thus far, and maybe a score. So we'll start with, I have it on here, Full House. Yes, old show with the late Bob Saget, John Stamos, Dave Coulier, Candace Cameron, Jodie Sweetin, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. I think Full House was a good show. It's not one of my favorites of all time. It might crack the top 30 if we're lucky here. But I would say overall, Full House would probably be... I'm going to rate it out of 10. I would say Full House is a solid 6 out of 10. Just from what I'm seeing. I haven't seen every episode of Full House. I know that for sure. Then we have Family Matters. Yes, a show that I used to watch all the time on TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. And I really like Family Matters. I may have seen every episode of that show. I'm not for sure. But I think the show was pretty solid. So I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's the show with Jaleel White and Reginald Johnson III. And I really liked the show. I guess I started with all these shows that are on TGIF. I think Full House was at one point. Then we have Boy Meets World, which is a show that I caught at various points in time. And then I even watched the spinoff show, Girl Meets World. A few episodes here and there just to see the big moments of certain characters returning. I think Boy Meets World is a solid 6.5 out of 10. It had some good characters like Corey, Sean, Eric, Mr. Feeney. I don't even have this stuff written down. I'm just going from memory. But Boy Meets World was pretty good. Another show that I watched a lot of seasons of, but it just kept going and going and going, that I stopped watching it, would be Person of Interest. And that's a show with Jim Caviezel and Michael Emerson, the character, the guy that played Benjamin Linus on Lost. And Person of Interest was an interesting show, but like, I feel like they took forever to get to the climax of the show. Like, the show didn't need to go that many seasons. So Person of Interest, I would say it's a solid 6 out of 10. It looks good. I think the character of John, played by Jim Caviezel, sometimes whispers too much, in my opinion. Now I'm going to take like a 30-second break. One moment. Alright, I'm back. I just had to do something real quick here. So yeah, Person of Interest, pretty good, but kept going too long, so I eventually lost interest in it. Here's a more newer show that's on Netflix. It just aired its first season that I really enjoyed, and that would be The Night Agent. The premise is this guy who witnessed, who stopped like a train bombing, or subway bombing, gets a job as an agent inside the White House, where he answers a phone in this room. And I don't want to say too much about the show, but the show really had me interested in it. After like if the first season had 10 episodes, like after episode 5 or 6, I was getting more hooked, and I'm actually really looking forward to The Night Agent season 2. Next we have Homeland. Now Homeland, I watched the first 3 seasons of. Really good show, the first three seasons. And then they kind of end that story arc. And I admit I didn't give the show much of a chance after that. I watched the first 4 or 3.5 episodes of the season 4, and they were going a completely different route, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like that route or not. So I own like 3 more seasons after that. I just haven't went back to it. But Homeland, the first 3 seasons were pretty freaking good. It's a show that had Claire Danes and Damian Lewis, I think his name was. But Claire Danes is the person you know mostly. And it also has, what's his name? The guy that's in Princess Bride, You Killed My Father, Now I'm Going to Kill You. I can't remember his name, but he's in it. But he looks really different because he's obviously much older. Next we have Fear the Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead is usually crap. I think season 3 is really good, and season 6 is pretty good. Season 1 is okay. Season 2 is okay. Season 4 is not good. Season 5 is not good. Season 7, they dropped the ball. It could have been good, but it wasn't good. But I actually stopped watching Fear after the mid-season finale of Season 6. I don't remember, or Season 7, I should say. I don't remember if I watched the premiere of Season 6, the second half of Season 7, but I did watch the finale of Season 7. And then a certain character makes an appearance on that, and I don't want to give spoilers if you haven't seen Fear the Walking Dead yet, but it has its moments. Season 8, I've been happy with. There's a lot of people that say it's shit still, but I can agree with them to a degree, but the show's getting more interesting now, even though it's kind of shit. But it has its moments on Fear the Walking Dead, so I'd probably rate it a 5 out of 10 for the good seasons, and then they have the shitty seasons, like season 4 and 5, arguably. Probably season 5 is the shittiest, I think. This is an interesting one. So we have Desperate Housewives. I watched the first 3 seasons of Desperate Housewives. I own all the seasons, and it's a show that I mean to watch more of, and I keep putting it off. It's got interesting things that happen. The characters are interesting. The original story on it is kind of over with after the first season, but I still like it. I never thought I'd like a show like that, like Desperate Housewives. My friend Michelle got me into it, and I've liked it ever since. But I just kind of stopped watching it. But I mean to go back to it. Like Game of Thrones, and we'll talk about that later. Game of Thrones, I watched the first season and a half of Game of Thrones, and then was having trouble staying awake during episodes of season 2. And then like episode 3 or 4, I stopped watching for like a year. And then eventually I went back to it. So it's probably been like 3 months since I watched an episode of Desperate Housewives. Blacklist. Blacklist is a really good show, but it kept going and going and going, and I had to stop watching The Blacklist. I know it's ending soon, and I might try to watch what I haven't watched of it yet, because I think I'm only like a season and a half behind in The Blacklist, but it's a really good show. It's just a show that keeps going and going and going, and I don't think it really needs that many episodes in it. So, good show. I'd probably rate it a 7 out of 10. Limitless. Now, this was a TV show based off the movie that had Bradley Cooper and Robert De Niro in it that came out in 2011. I really liked the TV show, but unfortunately for the show, they canceled it after 1 season because the ratings weren't very good. I'd probably give it a 6.5 out of 10. Again, not remembering what exactly happened that much. I know that Jennifer Carpenter's on it. Jennifer Carpenter, who played Deborah Morgan on Dexter and Dexter New Blood, but it was pretty good. I liked it, and I'm mad that they canceled it. Orphan Black. This is a show that was on BBC America. It's a show that my roommate and one of my bosses at another job got me into. I think it's solid. Sometimes I can get disinterested by it, but I watched the entire series and own the entire series. I would probably give Orphan Black a 6.5 out of 10. It has lots to do with clones. The original premise of Orphan Black in the first episode is like a down on her luck girl goes to a train station. She doesn't know what her next, or subway station, whatever, doesn't know what her next move is. And then she kind of sees somebody that looks like her. And this woman takes her shoes off, her coat off, and her purse off and puts it in the middle, like at the walk, well, where they were standing at. And then she just jumps in front of her train. So this character that's kind of down on her luck, Sarah, decides to become this woman. And it turns out this woman is a police officer. So that's the original episode of Orphan Black. Obviously, the story changes from there, but it's pretty solid. Okay, I see that you put another comment. Did you hear about the upcoming Star Wars movies are delayed and Avatar movies? Avatar 3, December 19, 2025. Avatar 4, December 21st, 2029. And Avatar 5, December 19th, 2031. I did hear about that. I don't really care about the Star Wars movies. I'll probably watch them, but it's nothing that I really keep my eye on just because I think there's been too many Star Wars movies. The Avatar stuff, that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that James Cameron wanted to devote the rest of his life to making Avatar movies when he could be making better movies. Like, I didn't really like the first Avatar. Now, I did like Avatar: The Way of the Water. I thought that was really good, although trying to watch it at home is actually difficult. So the first time watch of Avatar: Way of the Water is I liked it a lot. It almost was my favorite movie of 2022. I saw that on Christmas of 2022. Christmas at 10 o'clock at night. But I liked it. I don't really think the movie needs that many sequels. What more can they do in the Avatar movies? But that sucks that it's getting delayed till 2031, the fifth one. That's a long time from now. I'm gonna probably die before these Avatar movies all come out. I'm just kidding, but it's a long time. Like I don't want to wait that long for movies. But Star Wars, it's not something that I'm necessarily interested in. I heard that Daisy Ridley's coming back in another Star Wars movie. I don't know if I'd really care for that, but I'll probably see it. I like to do my ranking videos, so I need to complete the series and stuff. So the more movies they make, the more I have to watch. All right, next we have our TV show called Yellow Jackets. So I got interested in Yellow Jackets because it's the show that they were promoting during Dexter New Blood. The premise of the show is a bunch of high school students are going to play this soccer game somewhere, so they fly to this location. And then the plane crashes. And then crazy shit happens once the plane crashed. They get stuck in this wilderness for a long time. And then eventually, some of the members of this high school soccer team get rescued. And just the stuff that happens in the wilderness when they crashed and stuff that happens in now time. So there's a big time skip from when the crash happens till nowadays. There's like a 20-year time jump. They go back and forth. It kind of reminds me of Lost a lot. It's pretty good and pretty solid. I would recommend Yellow Jackets if you're looking for a show to watch. It just got done with its second season, and it's been renewed for a third season. So check out Yellow Jackets. Lucifer. So Lucifer is a show that a friend of the channel, Richard, or Crazy Kofi Man, or Kofman, I'm not sure exactly how you say it, recommended. So I've been watching that because he absolutely loves the show. And I actually, just before I started this stream, I finished the finale of season 2. It's a show that has a lot of religion that I don't really get interested in, but it's good. I would probably rate it, at least at the moment, a solid 7 out of 10. I'm not sure where things are going to go in Lucifer, but I sense things are going to get very interesting. And I appreciate Richard recommending this show to me. I'm going to take a break for about a minute. All right, so I'll let you know what I'm doing. So instead of doing it on camera, when I live stream for a certain length, or when I'm recording videos for a certain length of time, my nose will start itching like crazy to a point where like I've got to itch it really hard. So right then and there, my left nostril was driving me crazy, so I had to give it an itch. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my link to my Walking Dead, Dead City review video in the comment section for those of you that are fans of The Walking Dead, or those of you that might catch this stream on the playback. So I'm going to find that video and put that in the stream in just a second here. I've found it. Bear with me here. Come on, you piece of crap. All right. So if you want to watch my review of the newest episode, well, the premiere of The Walking Dead, Dead City, I went ahead and put that in the comment section for those of you that are interested in it. So there's that. I'll put this highlighted. Again, my review of The Walking Dead, Dead City that I posted on Thursday morning. Pretty awesome episode if you want to hear my thoughts after just finishing watching the episode. So Lucifer, yes, good show, 7 out of 10. I'm not sure where it's going to go, and it's a show that deals a lot about religion that I don't necessarily care for, but it's still pretty solid. Next we have The Strain. The Strain is a really good show that a YouTuber was watching, and my ex-girlfriend Kim. The YouTuber, if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, Trevs Chan 2, who just posted his review of The Walking Dead, Dead City this evening. He used to do reviews of The Strain, and then he stopped doing reviews of The Strain, and I was watching it, and then he didn't watch the final season, but it's a pretty good show. There's a vampire virus that's in the city, and that's the whole premise of the show. And people are turning into these monsters. It's kind of like the monsters that were in Blade 2. The first episode is a plane lands on tarmac, and nobody gets out of the plane. And they go in the plane, and everybody's dead. And then eventually, a couple people start to wake up. That's like the first episode of The Strain in a nutshell. It's 4 seasons. 4 seasons. They knew it was going to end, so they had a good ending, not a, oh, we just got canceled, dumb ending. So I like it. If you haven't seen The Strain yet, I would highly recommend it. Not sure why I watched this show, but there's a story behind it. It's Beverly Hills 90210. Yes. So at some point in, I believe it was 1990, I was in my mom's room because I was watching something, and I didn't have cable in my room at the time. I would have been 9 or 10 years old. Maybe it was in 89. I don't remember. And what I was watching ended, and it must have been Fox 47 at the time. And there was this new show premiering with Shannon Doherty and Jason Priestley called Beverly Hills 90210. Didn't know who those people were at the time. But for some reason, I watched the show. And then I got hooked on the show where I would watch it every week. And I probably watched 90210, the original 90210 run, not the reboot they had that was on CW, I think. I watched like the first 7 or 8 seasons of 90210. And then watched the final season of 90210. So I haven't watched all the episodes of it yet. And then I also watched the reboot they had a few years ago called BH 90210. Not sure. It's a show that it's a weird show for me to like, but I absolutely liked it a lot at some point. It's like my life was really boring during those times, and I kind of lived vicariously through those characters, like Luke Perry's character, Dylan McKay. Rest in peace, Luke Perry. And, of course, they brought in Valerie, played by Tiffany Thiessen. You know I like Tiffany Thiessen. Check out my YouTube profile picture. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. It probably is a 5 out of 10 because it has some really good stuff that happens on 90210, and then it has really stupid stuff that happens on 90210. Next, we have Shameless. I had a roommate a couple years ago that would be obsessed with Shameless and like, hey, I got to watch the new episode of Shameless to get, or the newest season of Shameless on Netflix to get caught up to watch the new episodes on Showtime. And Shameless is really good to start. And then I'm not exactly sure where it gets bad. I don't remember. I'm rewatching and reviewing the show right now. But it's 11 seasons, and I'm on season 5 right now. At a certain point, the show starts to take a trajectory down, 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 down. So it's good at times and then really bad. The final 2 seasons of Shameless are not watchable, and the series finale of Shameless is not good at all. I fucking hate that episode of Shameless. There's more that they could have done that they didn't do. Now, I don't know if that had to do with COVID, if they had certain restrictions where they couldn't get certain people to be on the show, or somebody being pregnant at the time prevented this person from being on the show. But I think you could have at least had somebody on Skype or Zoom to at least make an appearance in an episode. So that's my thought on Shameless. It really is good at times, and then it is really bad at times. Chris has another comment. Again, Chris, I appreciate all your participation. Wow, I can't talk now. Participation in the comment section. I can't wait for Scream 7. Do you think any familiar legacy characters will return in Scream 7? I hope they do a Ghostface spinoff after Scream 7. Have they officially announced Scream 7 yet? I mean, it's probably going to happen, but I don't know if they've officially announced it yet. My thoughts on Scream 7, I absolutely love Scream 6. I thought it's actually my 3rd favorite Scream movie. Scream 7 needs to up the ante, because we had Scream 6 and Scream 5. They need to do something in Scream 7 to be different. Now, I don't know if you've heard all the theories, but I am one of the people that believe that Stu Macher is still alive and will be returning at some point in the Scream movies as Stu Macher. Now, Matthew Lillard, who plays Stu Macher, has returned in a few of the movies already. He's just a background character that you don't know as him. And he played the Ghostface that has the flamethrower in Scream 5. So he's going to come back at some point. I'm a strong believer that Stu is coming back. I'm on the Stu train. I think Scream needs to end with Stu coming back and then Sidney, Nev Campbell coming back and having one last altercation. Now they can continue Scream after that. They need to take a break and then they need to do something different. I love the core four now. Chad, Mindy, Sam, and Tara. They were awesome in Scream 6. I loved them. Like, Nev Campbell not being in Scream 6, I think made the core four really memorable. God, my throat is just really killing me. So, and then as far as a Ghostface spinoff, I think it's just going to be a new set of characters with Ghostface going after them, or maybe like I'm not exactly sure, but that's kind of what I think. They're just going to have new set of characters, or maybe they bring back the core four. But after the next movie, I don't think I want to see Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox anymore. You could probably bring back Hayden Panettiere as Kirby, but I don't want to see Nev and Courtney anymore, just because they've been in too many movies and they don't need to do anymore. So those are my thoughts on Scream 7 possibilities, but I do think that Stu will return somehow, some way. I mean, remember the TV dropped on him, but he was still moving, and you never saw his body after that. So I think Stu's still alive, and I'm gonna stand by that opinion. All right, let's continue with the shows. Again, you can interrupt me with comments all you want. That's fine. I just want something to talk about. Otherwise, I'll be sitting here waiting for you to leave a comment, and that might get annoying for you to keep my stream going. So, Shameless, again, it has some really good seasons, and so far, through season 5, it's still good. I think it starts to lose quality in season 7, and then by season 10, it's just cringeworthy, where it's like not even watchable. But I'm still going to watch all the episodes over again and review every single episode of Shameless because I wanted to watch it over again. But I would give this show probably a 6.5 out of 10 because it has some really good stuff on it. Next, we have True Blood. Another show that's really hit or miss. It has some really stupid shit that happens on True Blood. But I can't help but love some of the characters on True Blood, especially Eric and Jason Stackhouse and Sookie Stackhouse. You have the Andy Belfour, who plays a detective or sheriff, or I don't remember exactly what his title is. The show has some good moments, and it has some really shitty shit. It has one of my least favorite series finales on it. Equal to Shameless, I think I hate True Blood's finale more, but I haven't watched it since 2014, maybe, or maybe even before that, so I don't really remember what happened. It's not very memorable, that's for sure. I remember the Shameless finale pretty well, so if I don't remember True Bloods, that must mean it's worse, right? I don't know, but it has some good moments on it. It's a show that's on Max. If you want to check it out, True Blood, it's good. All right, next we have The Shield. This is a show that a lot of people that are, the younger generation didn't catch. They missed out on it. It's a show that's a cop show where you have some corrupt cops, one of which played by Michael Chiklis, who plays Vic Mackey. I think he's one of the best TV show characters of all time, equal to Walter Hartwell White on Breaking Bad. And the first episode, they kill a cop. And that's kind of the premise of the whole show. That's kind of like the start of the show. You have some great performances. The show deals with a lot of issues in modern day that people don't necessarily like to talk about. Racial issues and things like that happen on the show. But it's a really good show. I think it's 7 seasons. And I think, in my opinion, it has one of the most satisfying series finales of all time. Not the most satisfying, but definitely one of the most satisfying finales that I've watched myself. Next, we have Saved by the Bell, and I'm talking about the Saved by the Bell with Mr. Belding, Zach Morris, Kelly Kapowski, E.C. Slater, not the other renditions of it. I loved Saved by the Bell when I was younger. It used to be on all the time, so I used to watch it all the time. I don't know if I've seen every episode in a row, but I know I've seen every episode just because it was on so much.
Love the show. That started my crush with for Tiffany Amber Thiessen, who now goes by Tiffany Thiessen, and it's another show where like it dealt with issues that I didn't really deal with myself, so I kind of lived vicariously through those characters. And then there's another show that I'll say that about coming up here soon. But Saved by the Bell is awesome. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. Maybe some people would say 4 or 5 out of 10. It's possible, but I liked it a lot. So next we have The 100. This is a show that's on Netflix. Earth is inhabitable and everybody lives on a ship. And then they eventually go back down to Earth and find out it's I don't want to give away anything. It's an interesting show. Now, I think the show should have ended after 5 seasons. It's pretty good at times. Like, this was a show that I was literally watching while I was at work on my lunch break because I was so into it. But I will say that it got, after season 5, it got not necessarily good. And I didn't necessarily like the last season at all. So, The 100, it's a good show. Good characters, and certainly watchable, but I think it went on a little bit too long. Another show that I used to live vicariously through these characters because I was didn't really have that much stuff happen to me early on in life. Melrose Place. So it's kind of a spin-off of Beverly Hills 90210. At one point in time, Melrose Place used to be my favorite show of all time. They had some crazy stuff happen on Melrose Place. And talk about cliffhanger season finales. Melrose Place was very well known for their cliffhangers. But I love the show. It's a great show. I haven't watched it in forever. And I don't think I'll ever watch it again just because it'll probably ruin my experience. But I'll give that one an 8 out of 10 just because it was so instrumental. But actually, you know what? Come to think of it, I never finished watching all of it. I don't even remember how many seasons it lasts for. But I think I missed 2 seasons because all my characters that I liked left the show. So I'm going to actually lower my score to 6 out of 10, but it's got some really awesome moments on it. Next, we have The Good Place. I don't want to give too much away about the show, but it deals with a show where people go to the afterlife. It stars Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. It's a comedy. It's actually a lot of fun. I can't remember the actor's name, but he plays one of the characters in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. He's really funny in it, and I really enjoyed that. So, Good Place, if you're looking for a comedy that's pretty well written, I would suggest checking it out. It's on Netflix. Okay, we got another comment here by Chris. We've got a couple comments by Chris. All right. Do you think Halloween Ends is the final movie in the franchise? But I heard that they are doing another Halloween 1978 50th anniversary edition. It's coming in 2028 if it goes to the theater. We are not done with Halloween movies. There will always be Halloween movies because people go to see them. We are done with the David Gordon Green Blumhouse Halloween movies. Halloween Ends will be the last thing that David Gordon Green and Blumhouse ever touch. I don't know when it's going to come out, but there will be another Halloween movie. But a 50th anniversary would sound just about right for me. You know, take a couple of years off, let people refresh. Hopefully, we get another Friday the 13th movie so we can have that to watch. Because I'm, at this point, kind of burned out on Michael Myers. Because Halloween Ends, in my opinion, was crap. I don't think it's the worst movie out of the franchise. The 13 movies that have Halloween in them that are a part of that, even Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. But Halloween Ends was garbage. I liked the end of it, but the first and second act I didn't like at all. But it's not the worst one. But maybe on a rewatch it'll go lower on my ranking. And then Chris says, I might have to go check it out. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. So leave me a comment to let me know what you're going to go check out. I'm guessing it's a TV show that I mentioned so far, but I've talked about so much stuff that I don't know which one that you're talking about here. So just let me know in the comments section so I can address what you're going to watch and then follow up with you to see what your thoughts are if you end up checking it out. I already talked about The 100. I already talked about Melrose Place. I already talked about The Good Place. Now we're getting into my top TV shows of all time, or most of them are that I'm going to talk about here. The Last of Us. I think The Last of Us had really good potential. And it started out really good, but I feel the second half of season 1 of The Last of Us was kind of a letdown for me. I think it's good performances and good episodes, but the second half didn't really give me what I want, which I think The Walking Dead Dead City kind of reminds me of The Last of Us, but they gave me what I want, at least so far in one episode. So I would suggest checking out The Last of Us. I've never played the game at all, but I've heard a lot about it, and Cody Leach, my favorite YouTuber, was so high on The Last of Us that I had to check it out, and I even did reviews of it on JDev TV, so check that out if you haven't yet. The Last of Us, if you haven't played the game, though, it might not make any sense to you, but I really like some of what they did for Season 1. The first half, at least. Then it kind of went off the rail in the second half. Cobra Kai. Freaking awesome show. Totally nostalgic. At least they started off making you think that Johnny Lawrence, the guy that got kicked in the original Karate Kid, is kind of the good guy, and then Daniel LaRusso, Daniel's son, is kind of the prick. And it's so fun to watch with all this nostalgia and all these characters that I liked through three movies, three, and maybe the other movies in the Karate Kid franchise, the one with Hilary Swank and the one with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith. They haven't done anything with those yet, but Cobra Kai is awesome. It's really watchable. I think the reason why I like Cobra Kai so much is my leg all of a sudden is really hurting. I don't know what the hell's wrong with that. Ow. Like pulled something sitting down. I'm sure it'll go away. Maybe it's just a muscle cramp. Cobra Kai is so good because it's only like 30 minutes an episode most of the time, and it's really addicting to only have to sit through 30 minutes of an episode. So if you haven't checked out Cobra Kai yet, I would highly suggest that you check out Cobra Kai if you're into the Karate Kid movies, which I liked them as a kid. I don't know if they're that good anymore. Nope, we got another person in the chat. All right, so Chris says, I watched the Halloween 1978 40th Anniversary Edition. It was amazing, too. See, I have the opinion that Halloween 1978, I know this is going to piss some people off, I think it's a bit overrated. The movie, to me, watching it now, doesn't really hold up. It's really slow, and not a lot happens in the original Halloween. I know it's an unpopular opinion. I don't hate the movie. I just think it's a little overrated, where my favorite Halloween movie of all the movies is actually Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, with Danielle Harris and who played Rachel? I can't remember her name now. Whatever. Jamie and Rachel are in it, and I love Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. All right, we've got Abdel. Do you know the show Mr. Robot? I've heard of it, but I haven't watched any of Mr. Robot. It's a show that I might consider checking out if it's available on something that I can watch, but I know a little bit about it, and I think the ending of it got spoiled for me, but don't talk about it because I don't necessarily want to know if I was wrong. But I hear it's good. Trev of Trev's Chan 2 is somebody that I heard talk about it a lot, and I know I hear it's pretty good, so, but I haven't seen it myself yet. If it's available on streaming, I might try to check it out. Chris says the 1978 50th anniversary is what I meant. Okay, the Halloween 1978 50th anniversary. Okay, all right. And then, Abdel, if Mr. Robot's not in your top list, then I don't know what to say. Well, unfortunately, I haven't seen it yet, so it hasn't made my list yet. But certainly I can consider watching it at some point if I have access to it, or maybe I'll just go out and buy it at this point. But I'll check it out. I know Christian Slater's in it, but it's not a lot of people talk about Mr. Robot. That's the problem with it. So let's see what here. I'm probably guessing that we might get a Halloween new movie in 2025 or 2026, and I hope it doesn't get delayed. Yeah, with the I don't think they're working on anything Halloween related right now because they're taking a Halloween break, I think. With the writer strike, if they are, that's very possible that it might get delayed. But yeah, it would be nice if a new Halloween movie came out in 2028 to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Halloween movie. All right, I'm going to continue my list, and I apologize if people are annoyed by me just rambling, but it keeps the stream going, and I appreciate Chris and Abdel for their comments, and if I'm saying anything wrong, I apologize. So, Cobra Kai, pretty awesome show. It's got good nostalgia. It's nothing big that you should expect on this show, but it's a lot of fun. The Following, it's a show with Kevin Bacon that was written by Kevin Williamson that was behind various Scream movies. The premise is you have a guy in jail, and his name is Joe Carroll, and his followers are committing crimes for him. And that was kind of actually going to be one of the plots of the Scream movie that didn't happen. So Kevin Williamson took that idea and made it a TV show. So The Following, pretty good show. It's 3 seasons. Unfortunately, they canceled the show. And I think the ending of the show doesn't reflect the fact that they got canceled. Like, shit, we got canceled, so we didn't have a proper ending. So not a lot of people were watching it, but I liked it. It's on Netflix. Well, last time I checked at least. I put Sinner down in here. Sinner is a show that has a different story each season. I didn't think the show would actually go more than 1 season, but it did. It was a limited series. The first season is really cool. It stars Bill Pullman and Jessica Biel. And the first episode, and my memory's not as sharp on this one because it's been a while since I watched it, but the first episode has Jessica Biel's character at the beach, and all of a sudden she stabs this guy and kills a guy with a pair of scissors. And then the season explains why she did what she did. Like, this regular housewife, I think at the time, just randomly goes nuts and starts stabbing a guy because something triggered her. And that's the premise of season 1, and I never watched any other. I think I watched a few episodes of season 2 and never watched any more after that. But the first season of Sinner was freaking awesome, so I'd recommend at least watching the first season. We have another comment from Abdel. Don't tell me you didn't watch Primal yet. Primal doesn't ring a bell. I apologize. If I said I was going to watch it and you've communicated with me before on this, I don't think I've heard of Primal yet. I know Primal from like the new Transformers movies, but I don't think that's what you're referring to here. And then we, of course, have Better Call Saul, which is a prequel series to Breaking Bad and does a little stuff that happens after Breaking Bad. It starts off slow. It's a story that follows the character. Well, he eventually becomes Saul Goodman, but he actually is Jimmy before that. His name is James McGill, and it's pretty good. The first season isn't very good. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's really slow. But eventually, Better Call Saul becomes really good, and it equals Breaking Bad to a degree. I don't think it's as good as Breaking Bad, but it certainly equals the entertainment level that I got from watching Breaking Bad. I already talked about From, so I don't have to mention that. We have Ozark. Ozark lasted 4 seasons. If you like Breaking Bad, for the most part, you would like Ozark. It's not as well written, though. It stars Jason Bateman, and the ending of Ozark is... I'm very annoyed with the ending of Ozark, but it's pretty good up until the last episode, I would say. Really good stuff. Crazy stuff happens in the show, and it's got some really good performances by some characters as well. Stranger Things. I hear that Linda Hamilton has actually just got casted in Stranger Things season 5. Stranger Things is awesome. Not my favorite show, but it's around my top 10. Really good show. Follows like these 4 kids, but then has other characters in it. Weird stuff happens. They play Dungeons and Dragons. They have different dimensions and stuff. I don't want to, if you haven't seen Stranger Things yet, I don't want to necessarily spoil anything for you, but it's pretty good if you haven't seen it. We got some more comments here. Chris says, I can't wait to see the Friday the 13th prequel TV series coming soon. I hope it's good. I don't necessarily want a show about Pamela Voorhees. I want 99% Jason Voorhees. That's what I want because that's what I liked. To me, Friday the 13th from 1980, you know how I said I didn't really like Halloween 1978? I understand why people like it. It's not bad. I just don't, I'm not eager to watch Halloween 1978 unless I'm doing a ranking video, which then I force myself to watch all of them. But that would be probably the 5th one I would choose to watch if I had my choice. Okay, the only things you can watch are Halloween movies. What one am I going to watch? That would probably be the 5th one I would choose. Something like that. I don't know exactly. Maybe not. I don't know. Friday the 13th, though, I do want to see a lot of Jason. I don't like the original Friday the 13th, but maybe we'll learn more about Pamela Voorhees, and I might like it. And I'm not exactly sure what the premise is going to be. I've heard mixed things about it, like if they're able to use anything they want in the TV series, or they're kind of limited on what they can do because of the Victor Miller, Sean Cunningham situation. But I believe, from what I've been told, that the TV series can do whatever they want, which if that's the case, it could be really good. But if we have a season where we have to focus on Pamela Voorhees, I necessarily wouldn't like that. But hey, maybe it'll be good. Who knows? And then Abdel with another comment. I'm really letting Abdel down here. We have... did you watch the new season of Black Mirror? I've actually never seen any of Black Mirror. Heard about it. I just never had the inkling to watch it. So I will take a note. Mr. Robot, Black Mirror, and Primal. I don't know if Primal has something to do with Black Mirror or not, but I have not watched any of Black Mirror yet. I apologize for not watching. Like I said, I watch some TV shows, but I don't watch a lot of stuff on TV compared to some people I know that watch like every show, or at least watch some of every show. All right, we got Chris again with another comment. Man, Chris, I appreciate all your comments, and Abdel as well. We got more people in the chat here, too. That's good. I see the comment that you left later on. Okay, so I heard Robert Englund isn't coming to be Freddy Krueger. They're doing a new character, but they might have them in a cameo, though, for this new Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Robert Englund... So my experience with the Nightmare on Elm Street movies... I have seen them all. I don't talk about them a lot for a reason, because I just don't get into them. And I tried watching. Now I know, don't cancel me here. I have a story behind it. I love Freddy vs. Jason. That's awesome. Even though Jason looks like he's made to be a bitch in the movie to a degree. We got some Scream comments here. I'll address those quickly. I'll try to stop rambling as much. But Robert Englund is too old to be Freddy. I will say that. I think they should bring back the guy that played Freddy in the last Freddy movie. I thought he was really good. I don't remember a lot about it, and I know it's not as well received, but now it has kind of a cult following. What the hell was that guy's name? I met him before, too. But I think he should be Freddy. Or like Kevin Bacon or Devon Sawa would be a good Freddy. But my history with Nightmare on Elm Street, to address that, I necessarily don't like Freddy movies. I don't know what that is. I tried to at the end of 2021 or the beginning of 2022 to rewatch them. I got through the third one, and my thoughts were that the second one was the best one, which that usually isn't the case, although the second one has a lot more fans now. But I thought that was like the most interesting one, where I didn't really like the original one. And Dream Warriors, which is usually somebody's favorite if they don't like the original as much, I didn't really like. But I know I've seen them all. As a kid, I watched them all. And eventually, at some point, I'm going to force myself to rewatch them all and do a ranking video of it. But I do believe that somebody else should be Freddy Krueger, simply because Robert Englund is too old. God, is he in his 80s right now? And it would be cool if he had a cameo, because he does have a cameo in another... Well, I don't want to give it away spoilers, but he's in a cameo in something else. All right, so we have Kyle in the chat. Hi, Kyle. Thanks for joining the stream. I'm letting Abdel down here. Come on, man. These are shows you need to check out. Yeah, I will certainly try to check them out. Right now, my schedule is really busy. After, I would say, mid-July, maybe I'll try to check them out. Maybe follow up with me again in mid-July to see if I've checked out either Mr. Robot or Black Mirror. I'll try to make that a priority, but right now at the beginning of the month and end of June, I have to rewatch a bunch of stuff for different things. But mid-July, I should be able to at least watch 1 or 2 episodes. Well, that's not really committing to anything. If I just watch an episode, I'll do my best. That's all I can say. YouTube is not my full-time job, but I'll try. This is coming from a film/TV nerd myself. Yep. I can't watch everything. I get ya. I'm sure there's stuff that you haven't watched yet either. Kyle, what's your favorite horror movie? I can answer that question. Scream 2 is my favorite horror movie of all time. I know that's not a popular opinion. Like Halloween 78 isn't your favorite. I absolutely love Scream 2. I've said it before in many horror movie live streams that Scream 2 is my favorite horror movie. And I stick by that, and Scream from 1996 is my second favorite. So just to give you guys a rundown of my favorite horror movies. I'm a Scream fanatic, so I love those movies. And which is your favorite Scream movie? Scream 2, obviously. So my ranking of the Scream franchise, which we're going to disagree. I have a different ranking, obviously. Going from bottom to top, Scream 2, Scream from 96, Scream 6, Scream 5, Scream 4, and then Scream 3. Although, upon thinking about it, I actually think Scream 3 is going to go above Scream 4. I just don't really like Scream 4 anymore. You take Kirby out of that movie, I don't really like the movie at all, but I still like them, but it's not as watchable without Kirby in it. Let's see. Chris says, I don't think we will get a... You're leaving me in suspense here with that. Abdel says, how about movies? Did you either watch the thriller Bad Times or El Royale? And LOL, I'm really testing you with these underrated gems. I know Mr. Robot and Black Mirror aren't underrated because I know there's more so Black Mirror. I know there's a lot of people that are fans of that. I just don't watch everything. El Royale, I don't know what that is. I've heard the name before, but I'm not exactly sure if you're talking about the same thing, that I might know what you're talking about. So yeah, I don't watch everything, so sorry. Christine 2 movie from Blumhouse. So are you talking about Christine's gonna, or Blumhouse is trying to make another a sequel or a remake of Christine? I have not seen the Christine movie yet. Is that the one with the car, that Halloween 78, or not Halloween 78, that Halloween Kill? God, my brain's starting to go to sleep here. That's what Halloween Ends is trying to be like Christine to a degree. I have not seen Christine, so I can't really give you my expertise on that. And then Kyle with another comment. I love the Scream movies. The Scream franchise is my favorite movie franchise of all time. I will say that Scream 2, while it's my favorite Scream movie, is not my favorite movie of all time. That is, at the moment, Avengers Endgame. Not the biggest Marvel fan, but Endgame was awesome. Scream, let me pull up my favorite movies of all time list. I believe it's number 5, but let me just make sure here. Yes, I keep a ranking of that. Alright, so I'm looking at my favorite movie list of all time, and yes, Scream 2 is my number 5. Number 1, of course, Avengers Endgame. Number 2, The Dark Knight Rises. Yes, I said The Dark Knight Rises. I like the movie a lot more. 2 things. Conclusion aspect of it, and you have Anne Hathaway instead of Maggie Gyllenhaal. I cannot stand Maggie Gyllenhaal. Number 3, Demolition Man. Number 4, The Dark Knight. Which I said, I know Heath Ledger is epic as Joker. Bane doesn't quite equal Heath Ledger's performance, Tom Hardy's performance, but I think it's certainly not bad. It's a good performance, even though he talks weird, and that I like Dark Knight Rises. So, just to give you my thoughts on that. And then my 6th favorite movie of all time, which I thought it easily could be my favorite movie of all time, just because I like it so much, and that would be Passengers with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. I really like the movie Passengers. I really do. Kyle says, Scream 6 is my favorite other than the original Scream, and I think Scream 4 has the best Ghostface other than Billy. I like Scream 6. I dig it a lot. I don't think it's as good as Scream 2, that's for sure. And I will say that when I saw Scream 6, my initial thought, like a minute after walking out of the theater, I'm like, was this the best Scream movie that I just watched? My opinion obviously didn't go that route, but I think Scream 6 is very solid. I know it has its flaws, but I absolutely love it. And Scream 4 has the best killer, Jill. Jill's reveal as Ghostface, in my opinion, was very predictable. I saw it coming. I don't think Charlie was that good as Ghostface. And again, I'm sorry that I'm disagreeing with you. We all have different opinions. I think there are better killers in Scream, and just Jill. Jill's performance after she hurts Sidney real bad and beats the shit out of herself to make it convincing that she was attacked by Ghostface, it's freaking awesome. That was good. But the rest of it, hers being... I'm just pulling up my Ghostface ranking to see what it last was. Yeah, so I apologize, Kyle, but I put Jill as number 7. So we know of 14 different Ghostface, if you don't count the TV show, and I put Jill number 7. But what she does to herself to look like she got attacked by Ghostface is pretty awesome. And then Abdel says that the movie is called Bad Times at El Royale, and it has Chris Hemsworth. I'm thinking of something that had Dave Bautista in it. Is that Hotel something? I haven't seen it, and maybe I don't. Maybe the name rings a bell, but I don't know if I've seen it. What are some musical artists that you listen to? So, fun fact, I am not big into music. Isn't that a strange thing? I was into music a little bit in the 2000s, like the early 2000s. There's one real artist that you know that I like, or that people know that I like, and that is Eminem. I love everything Eminem. After that, like nowadays, what I listen to nowadays, like I might hear a song that's catchy that I like. Like the last song that I really liked that was catchy that Eminem had nothing to do with was the song Face Off that had Tech Nine, The Rock, and other people in it. I like that, but I don't necessarily listen to anything from those people anymore. But maybe it's just my man crush on The Rock or something like that. But I like that. But back in the day, if you asked me my Mount Rushmore of musicians, I would say Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, and probably Twista. DMX is there, Exhibit. Those are things that I listen to a lot. Favorite songs of all time, a lot of it's Eminem stuff. I like Back That Ass Up. I like Hate Me Now by Nas. Juvenile, Back That Ass Up. Hate Me Now by Nas. Yeah, it's mostly hip hop. I like a lot of things Jessica Simpson related. Yes, I know Jessica Simpson, a pop singer. Yes, I like Jessica Simpson a little bit. But yeah, I'm not really big into music, surprisingly enough. There's another hidden gem I don't think you ever watched is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I've heard of it, but no, I haven't watched it. Abdel, I haven't watched anything that you've talked about yet, unfortunately. Are you gay? No hate, by the way. I support. Nope, I am not. I'm not sure what brought that on. If there's something that you like that I have no interest in, no, not gay. Not Happy Pride Month to everybody that is, part of the LGBT plus community. But no, that's not where I land. I am straight. But hey, maybe my opinion will change someday. But as it stands right now, completely straight. So wow, I caught up on the chat. That's awesome. But let's talk more about music. Why I don't like music. I don't know. Like I used to listen to some bands like in the 2000s, like Limp Bizkit, which is rock / hip hop in my opinion. Drowning Pool. Also listened to Disturbed. I actually have, so a couple days before 9/11, I worked on a public access TV show with somebody, and he interviewed a lot of bands and got like station ID labels from a lot of bands. And he had me interview the band Drowning Pool before their singer Dave Williams died. And this was 2 days before 9/11. I don't think it was necessarily that good because I didn't really prepare much for it. But it's something that, it's something that not a lot of people have done. I'm going to actually find that video just so if anybody wants to check it out, they can. I'll put that in the chat. Bear with me here. All right, pulling it up now. Bear with me. All right, I put that in the chat. If anybody wants to check out my interview with Drowning Pool, which was done 2 days before 9/11, so September 9th, 2020. No, September 9th, 2001. You can check that out. I know it's not necessarily the best, but it's not bad. All right, I got to check up on the chat here. Let's see what we got here. Wow, if we was friends in real life, we would be buddies, always putting each other on. Yeah, you never know. That's good that we don't have this. If we had different interests, that would almost be a good thing. Like, I don't want necessarily anybody like that has the same interests as me to talk about the same things. But I'll definitely check out what you recommend. I definitely think that Mr. Robot. I don't think it lasts that long, like 3 seasons. So that's definitely something to check out. I don't know if I'll like it or not, but I have heard good things about it. Kyle says, have you seen the TV show Euphoria? God, I can't talk now. Euphoria? No, I have not. I heard some crazy things happened in the latest season. And there's my link to my interview with Drowning Pool conducted on September 9th, 2001. So long ago. I was a young pup with hair back then. So what I'm going to do, I'm not leaving, but I have to take a quick break because my water bottle is empty and my speech is already messed up. And if I continue this chat, or this stream, I should say, I won't necessarily be able to talk that well. So I'm going to be back in, let's say, bear with me a second here. I'll be back in a minute. So don't leave. I'll be back in literally 1 minute to go grab a drink. So give me just a second here. All right, I'm back. Well, not yet, but I'll be back in a second here. I'm back. Sorry, I had to get the water. This stream is brought to you by Aquafina. Love my Aquafina. All right, what do we got here? Paris Hilton died? What? Okay, I gotta Google that. I did not hear about that. All right, Kyle, I don't see that anywhere unless it just happened. But that sucks. People give Paris Hilton a lot of shit. She's in the House of Wax remake, and actually, she's really good in that. She's not in it long, but people shit on Paris Hilton, and she's really good in that. But I don't see anything about that, at least at the moment. So I don't know if you read something that was not true. I see that Paris Hilton's dog died at 23. Is that what you're referring to? God damn it. All right. So yeah, unless it just happened, I'm not seeing anything on Google about it. So send me a link. Or tell me where you see it at. All right. So what else we want to talk about? I'll finish my favorite TV shows of all time. That Abdel can be mad that I haven't watched the ones that Abdel wants to see. No real need to go into details about these as much, though. We have, I already talked about it earlier in the stream, so if you want to check out some recommendations early in the stream, Banshee, really good show. It's on Max. It's pretty good. Okay. It just happened. Okay. All right. I don't see it anywhere yet, but I'm sure I will if it's happened. That sucks. You know, condolences to Paris Hilton's family if that's true. Which I'm not disputing that it's true, what you said, Kyle, but maybe it's a hoax or something like that. And then The Big Bang Theory, it's like one of the only comedies that I like, aside from The Good Place. Big Bang Theory is pretty awesome. I'm actually doing reviews of that on my channel right now. Started watching the show because I saw Kaylee Cuoco on Scream, on screen, and thought she was really hot, so I started watching the show and actually really liked it. So just doing reviews of it on the channel because it's something to keep the channel a video every day. Yes, I'm more about quantity than quality, and I do need to put a lot more effort into some of my videos because they're kind of lame and very basic. But she was shot last night and found the body in Miami an hour ago. Wow. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna Google something else here. Okay. I just read something that says it's a hoax, so I don't know if that's true or not. But so who knows? But well, I guess I'll find out later on if that's the case. But you might be reading something that's not necessarily true, Kyle. But I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. This is the first I've heard of it, so I'm just merely giving you my thought. I googled Paris Hilton dead, and there's a thing that says socialite killed by celebrity death hoax. And Paris Hilton is not dead. She joins the long list of celebrities that have been victimized, is what it's saying. It's the first thing that comes up on Google after it goes to MediaMass.net, the headline. So, Haley something is a lesbian, by the way. Are you referring to Kaylee Cuoco? I think that's where you're referring to. I don't think Kaylee Cuoco's. If that's who you're referring to, Kaylee Cuoco is, from what I know, is not a lesbian. I think she's actually pregnant right now. Oh, sorry, maybe it was fake. That's what I thought. I could have sworn it was real. Hey, you never know when stuff these days, people could do a really good job of creating a fake article. So we all fall for it, so no big deal. So yeah, we got Banshee on Max. If you haven't watched Banshee yet, it's 4 seasons. It's like 39 episodes. The show ends when it wanted to end, and it's really solid for a TV show. Lots of action, really good sex scenes. Maybe not just provocative, just good stuff, but really good like choreographed action sequences, and it's really awesome. So check out Banshee. I know it looks a little weird, like the picture that they show. It looks weird, but it's a really good show. It's got Anthony Stark, who plays Homelander on The Boys. He's the main character that goes by Lucas Hood. So check that out if you haven't yet already. And then Lost. Now, Lost is one of my top tier TV shows of all time. I know a lot of people have problems with Lost. There are some things that people don't realize that happened or they didn't pay attention enough, but Lost is awesome. So many great moments that happened on Lost, and yeah, it's good. Although the show was supposed to end after 3 seasons, and they stretched it out for the network, so I know some things kind of delayed, like happened. That happened. The show get delayed a little bit, so I can see people's frustration with that. But I love Lost, and I'll say this for the record, I do love the series finale of Lost, which people usually hate. That's because you don't understand what happened. So Lost, check it out if you haven't. Then Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was awesome. It's a show that I started watching back in the day. Watched the first season and like 3 episodes and was struggling to stay awake. So I took like a year off. Wasn't sure if I was ever going to get back to Game of Thrones, but eventually I did. And it's one of my favorite shows of all time. Just a pretty good show. Fun stuff. Great epic moments on Game of Thrones. And if you're a fan of Game of Thrones and you like watching reaction videos, if you haven't checked it already, if you go to the Burlington Bar, it's Tank Top Sean, Sean, Burlington Bar. They did reaction videos of Game of Thrones in the bar, and they're pretty epic. Like if you search Burlington Bar, the drop, the big moment that happens in Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 3, it's a pretty good reaction for that. Kyle says, okay, but I just looked up is Haley. I don't know who this Haley person is. If you're referring to Kaylee Cuoco on The Big Bang Theory, which she might have got married, and I don't know what her real name is, but I don't know. Let me Google who this person is. Oh, okay. Okay, so I thought you were referring to Kaylee Cuoco. I don't know who this person is. Never heard of him. So, if she's a lesbian, she's a lesbian. I won't disagree. This one I'm sure of. Okay. Well, again, I don't know who the person is, so I have to eat dinner. Okay. Hey, man, I appreciate you participating in the stream. Always come back to the channel. I live in Vietnam, so it's 2:30 a.m. right now. Okay, yeah, you need to get to eat dinner at 2:30 in the morning. It's a late dinner. Maybe you guys eat dinner late times in Vietnam. I don't know. But yeah, I got 10:10 right now, my time. But yeah, thanks for participating in this live stream. Keep in mind, it's my first time live streaming on my channel, so I'm not sure if I'm the quickest with certain things, but I feel like I got the hang of it. It's just a matter of talking so much that I'm having issues speaking. Bye, Bobby. Okay. Bye, Bobby. Whoever Bobby is, goodbye. Abdel, you still in the chat? I will watch the shows that you've recommended, or at least I'll try to watch them eventually. So I think what I'm going to do, at the most, I'll go till 10:30, and then I got to call it quits on the stream because I got to go to the gym. So at 10:30, regardless, I'll have to be ending the stream, and I appreciate everybody that's came in here to see me live stream for the first time on my channel, at least. And I'll check out my channel periodically for other projects that I might be doing, because I do want to improve the overall layout and like performance of my channel, which sometimes I do stuff that's very generic and not the best. So I get it, but I'll work on that. I think quantity over quality right now is key for me, and then eventually I'll have to put good quality. And not necessarily that bad quality, but I think this stuff could be a lot more improved. Like, my video editing skills are very basic. I use the regular video editor on a computer, and that's what I'm used to. I guess I don't like change. Like, I don't want to change what I'm used to, and so I don't necessarily have the best editing skills. And my thumbnail for the stream is probably the worst thumbnail you've ever seen for a stream. I basically took a picture and then added some words on it, and I obviously want to make a more fancy thumbnail, but I just don't have the patience to know how to do it. But I'll try to get there someday. Okay, Chris says I have so. I think he meant I hope so if they don't mess up Dexter New Blood Season 2. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Dexter New Blood Season 2, but I don't want to see Harrison as the main character doing his random traveling, and Dexter as his dark passenger. That, to me, just won't be appealing enough. They need to revive Dexter. He was laying there, he was shot, he can easily be revived, and then you can fix the clusterfuck that was the ending of Dexter New Blood. You could have Angel Batista actually show up and have a scene with Dexter Morgan, or Jim Lindsay, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, that ending of Dexter New Blood, initially I didn't like it, I didn't hate it, but now the more I think about it and the more I watch it, the more I'm upset with the ending of Dexter New Blood. So, yeah, Dexter New Blood is, I don't know, if they continue with Harrison, it won't, the ratings for it are going to tank. Like, nobody's going to subscribe to Paramount and Showtime, whatever you do. I meant to say I hope Dexter New Blood Season 2 doesn't fail. Well, like I said, it can. If it's just Harrison, it's going to fail. Even if Dexter is the dark passenger, I don't think people will be as intrigued with that show, because Harrison was a very unlikable character in Dexter New Blood. They messed up a lot of stuff on Dexter New Blood. I don't know. They had all this time to make a really good series, a good season, limited series season, and they made it worse than the finale of Dexter, in my opinion. Like, for my biggest problem with Dexter New Blood, initially, they kill Hannah McKay off screen. Why? Just dumb. I don't know. I don't know. It's dumb. But I am looking forward to the next Dexter project. I'll cover everything Dexter related on this channel, because people came to my channel for Dexter content, and that was really cool. Like, I made all these Walking Dead videos, and I'd get views on them, but it wasn't like substantial views and subscriptions to my channel. But then Dexter New Blood came out, and people would watch my channel in groves, so I felt like compelled to, Dexter is my second favorite TV show of all time, so anything Dexter I have to cover, whether it's a prequel series, whether it's a spin-off show, or if it's a sequel to Dexter New Blood, I gotta cover it. So come to this channel for anything Dexter related. Once we have more Dexter, I will definitely recover it. So, Dexter New Blood Season 2 is on physical media. 1 second. Yeah, it came out shortly after the season of Dexter New Blood came out. They had a big announcement, and everybody thought it was going to be season 2 of Dexter New Blood, and it was Dexter New Blood is going to be out on physical media. So yeah, that's out. Kyle says, have you ever seen the show Jake and the Neverland Pirates? It's an action series. I think you'd really like it. Well, I'm glad that you know that I'd like it. I have never heard of it before. Is it on streaming? Not that I like streaming, but I don't necessarily want to buy something that I'm not necessarily committed to watching the whole thing. So let me know where it's available on. Jake and the Neverland Pirates. Let me Google it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry to disappoint Kyle, but I don't really get into anything anime. So cartoons, animation, it's not my thing. Yeah, I know. I've been canceled because of that comment. It's not my thing. I mean, I guess I can't necessarily say that without giving it a chance, but I just don't have any interest in watching anything anime. Just what I think. I'm sure it's on DVD somewhere. Yeah, I definitely don't want to buy it if I don't know anything about it. Unless I think, okay, this is a show I'm going to buy or like Lucifer. I thought, okay, I'd really like Lucifer, and I like it, but I'm not sure I really like it, so I think it might not have been a good investment because I ended up getting Netflix to watch it on there anyway because I was too lazy to put it in the discs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up my favorite shows of all time. I've only got a few left on here, so and then we'll wrap up the stream at 10:30. And again, I appreciate everybody that's been involved in this live stream. And obviously, it's going to get better once I have a specific topic to talk about instead of rambling about a bunch of different things. So, Game of Thrones, like I said, awesome show. Check out the reactions of Burlington Bar for Game of Thrones if you're a Game of Thrones fan because they're pretty awesome, in my opinion. Dexter. We've talked a lot about Dexter on the stream, but Dexter is my second favorite show of all time. Even though it has some low points in the series, I absolutely love the character of Dexter Morgan. I think there's some characters on the show that they killed off a little quickly, like, spoiler alert, James Dokes, played by Eric King. They should have kept Dokes on the show a lot longer. And if you check out my channel, I have a video where I mentioned this earlier, where I kind of go over what I would do with Dexter. Like, I would change the ending of Dexter. There's a few things that I would have to do in other seasons to make my ending work, but one of them has to do with Doak. So check out that channel. If you just go to my playlist and click on Dexter, it's the last video that I have under Dexter. I take that back. There's like the third to the last video that I did on Dexter because they announced the new Dexter projects. But yeah, Dexter, love it. It's one of my favorites. And then, of course, we have Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is probably the best well-written show of all time by Vince Gilligan. It stars Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul. It's so good. I'm actually rewatching that right now just because I wanted to watch Breaking Bad again, and then I'm doing my second reviews of Breaking Bad on my channel. Yes, I'll do reviews of a show, and then I'll redo them because I don't like the quality of them. So I did that for Dexter because when I did my original reviews of Dexter back in 2000, I had a shitty mic, and I would record my videos at night with basically no light on, and they just look like crap. So I redid all my reviews of Dexter. I think they turned out relatively well, and then I'm redoing Breaking Bad simply because I wanted to cover Breaking Bad again on my channel. And then Kyle says, oh, that's probably the comment me not liking anime. Sorry. I'm sorry. And then, LOL, oops. You should give anime a chance. Vietnamese culture is so cool. I just don't, unfortunately, have any interest in it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how I could get into it, though. I just don't know how I would get into it. Somebody would have to force me to watch it, and then maybe watching it, maybe I would really like it, but I don't know if that would be the case. So I guess it's possible, but I've already have a negative mindset going into it, so that doesn't look too good for anime. I know there's a person that I work with that absolutely loves anime, and every time he brings it up, I say I don't like cartoons, and that pisses him off because there's a difference between anime and cartoons, and he gets really mad when I say that. Sorry, Mike. That's his name. And then we have the last show. Well, let's talk about Breaking Bad a little bit more. So I think it's the best well-written show of all time from beginning to end. Like, each season tops the previous season. I'm a fan of season 4. That's my favorite season, but season 5 is probably better than season 4, but I just like the whole storyline for season 4 of Breaking Bad. And my favorite episode of Breaking Bad, season 4, episode 13, Face Off. So check out, if you haven't seen Breaking Bad yet, I highly suggest that you watch that show. It's available on Netflix if you have access to it. I think it's on all Netflix, but maybe different countries don't have that on Netflix, their version of Netflix. I don't know. I can't tell you that for sure. And then the last show that I want to talk about, it's my favorite show of all time. I kind of already alluded to it earlier, and we talked about it a little bit, but The Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead. Is it the best show of all time? To some people, probably not. And I would agree that Breaking Bad's probably a better show than The Walking Dead. But I was so invested on The Walking Dead. I started watching the show live in season 2, and I watched it all the way through until what they're saying is the finale of The Walking Dead, but the show really is continuing through season 11. So I got so invested in The Walking Dead that while it maybe not the best quality, I still absolutely love it. What? I'm missing some comments here. I apologize. Okay. I'm not sure what that says. Sorry. Text to speech. Hopefully you can understand it. Yeah, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not going to watch anime unless there's a female that I like that begs me to watch anime. Like, I won't come over if you don't watch this anime. Then I might not even, I don't want anybody to come over tonight anyway. I doubt it. It's probably not going to happen, Kyle. I know. I'm sorry to let you down, but I don't have any interest in watching anime. But you never know. And then, of course, we have Abdul here. Abdul, I do want to watch the shows that Abdel, Black Mirror, and Mr. Robot. I think I might try to watch Mr. Robot again sometime in June. Sometime in mid-July. That's when I'll have some more time to invest in at least one new show. So I do want to at least try to check that out and give my opinion on at least one episode if I don't like it. But that would be the plan. So yeah, we're about ready to wrap things up, and I want to go longer, but I actually have to go get ready for the gym at 10:30. So that's why I can't go on here longer tonight. I might come back though. I mean, I'm off tomorrow, so maybe I'll come back, and if anybody's interested in me talking more about random things, maybe I'll, while I'm working out, think of a subject that I can talk about, or maybe like 5 to 10 movies that you should watch that nobody talks about, which I kind of already talked about a little bit earlier, but I could go into that a little bit, but it wouldn't be till later, like, I don't know, 2-3 hours from now. So I should be up for at least 7 or 8 more hours because I don't have to work tomorrow, so what's the point of going to bed? Sleep's overrated. Get plenty of that when I die. So, yeah, I hope everybody has enjoyed the stream. Again, I got like about 5 to 6 more minutes left to go here. And, hopefully nobody hates, but if you hate, that's okay. I understand. It's my first time streaming by myself. I think I've done a pretty good job, though, from what I know. Obviously, I want to have a better thumbnail for the next stream and, have a specific topic. But obviously, I know the topic is a topic, but it's going to get off topic pretty quickly. But I want to have like a topic that people are really interested in, where there's more people than just 2 people that are, or 5 people that are watching the stream. So that's what I think I'm going to do. But yeah, I want to, maybe I'll come back tonight and stream a little bit more since I'm the YouTube streamer now. We shall see. So all right, so Kyle, if you're in the chat now, I know you've recommended some stuff in the chat. Or Chris, if you had to pick one movie that's more recent, anything before 1980, I don't really have interest in, but like a 90s or 2000 or 2010s movie that isn't necessarily as well known, but I should watch. Whomever is in the chat, leave your suggestion for that. Rest my voice here. I'm not at the. Is it a movie called See You? See You. Let me check on that. Are you talking about I See You? Oh, see you, like see you later. Okay, gotcha. I was thinking you were talking about a movie to recommend called See You. Yeah, I'll try to have fun at the gym. Need to do it more often because I've been lacking going to the gym as of late. But again, I got 4 more minutes. I might as well stay till 10:30. So if anybody has anything else that they want to say, now's the time to say it. And I just might come back later. I'm prepared for nobody to watch the stream when I do it, depending on who's awake at the time. At least my time. But I'll do it just because I want to. It's kind of fun streaming. But I hope to have fun at the gym. Luckily, I don't have to go too far. Just have to walk outside my apartment, the fitness room. They call it a fitness center, but it's more like a fitness room. It has one treadmill, one ascent trainer, and then a weight set, and a bike. So it's not a lot, but it's something. Somewhere, more than I have in my apartment. So, see you. Have fun at the gym. Yeah, it's my intention. So, I guess it's time to almost officially wrap this up. For TV shows that I think aren't as well known that you should watch, to anybody watching this now or anybody on the playback, From, it's on the first season, is available if you have Amazon Prime without any additional cost. Really good show, I think. And Banshee, which is on Max. I really like Banshee. It's a really good show. I believe it's my number sixth favorite show of all time. So check out Banshee, check out From, and let me know what you think. You can communicate me with with your opinions on things via Instagram, JDEV27. You can just comment on my community tab on YouTube. If you just go to the community and comment on my most recent poll or post, you can touch base with me here, or there, I should say. My brain's starting to get messed up here. Shredded. Let's check out Shredded here. I think I've heard the name before, but I'm not ringing the bell of what that is. What version of Shredded are we talking about? I see different years of Shredded. I see a 2001, a 2012 one, a 2018 one, and a 2005 one. So we need to narrow down which Shredded we're talking about. I see one with a man discovers his wife cheating on him and takes brutal revenge. Ooh, that could be good. Horror movie 2003. Okay. I'm not finding that. Maybe am I spelling it right? Yeah, I'm spelling it right. It's not coming up on IMDb. I can Google it. I've got 2005. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not seeing it here. Who's in it, Chris? Let me know who's in it. I'll definitely put that on the list of things that I should check out. But at the moment, I'm seeing Shredded, but not a 2003 horror movie. Well, I'm not really looking for specific titles, but I'm not seeing anything that says 2003. I'll do a couple more things here, and then I'm going to get out of here. So, for all those that are watching this on YouTube, obviously, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, share the video with anybody you know, and of course, leave me a comment in the comment section now. Or if you are checking this out right now and you're being quiet, leave something in the chat. I appreciate everybody that's been in the chat thus far. Really appreciate that. And yeah, I think I'm going to end it on this. I have some homework to do on some certain movies and TV shows. I'm going to look more into Shredded Chris and see if you want to leave a comment with who's in that. When the video just goes to a non-live video, you can do that. Whatever is easiest for you. But I'll do some more research at some point tonight. And to everybody that's watching this on the playback, or if they watch the live stream, I thank you, and I will do this more often. Peace.